put Dwayne Johnson in every movie and have a good life and then eventually kill myself when I'm over it.
I feel like it's too narrow a definition.
No, I think it's fundamentally classical and academic. I take issue with Joe Bullitt.
I take issue with Tootsie.
I take issue with District 9.
In Engels alsjeblieft?
No, it's okay. That was English.
In Afrikaans alsjeblieft?
I'll tell you what the problem it has. It is fundamentally...
I'll tell you.
I'm excited to see it. Fast words not make good.
Slow brain.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Plot Armor, the show where we fight tough, but we fight fair to answer stupid questions about movies you love, hate, or have never heard of. I'm your host, Caleb Jansons, and this is going to be a rather unorthodox episode, simply because we had one of our guests unfortunately pull out at the last second. So you'll see this guy on my left, Vincent.
First time next to this guy.
First time next to this guy. So it is very unorthodox, and he's tried to get his questions
It's the first
ready.
time you're going to see me actually nervous, so I'm scared you guys stand a chance.
So you should know Vincent, but he is my co-host here at Plot Armor, and that's all the introduction he's going to get. But let's move on to some of our more exciting people, the people we really are looking forward to, because you're really overseeing this guy. I know I am. I am joking. He is silently trying to figure out ways to
Now we know
edit
why
this out.
I'm not getting points today.
Okay, but starting from the other couch, from can to cutting rooms, he knows the game. Digging through scripts in search of that cinematic flame, everybody give it up for Warwick Eccles. Hey. There we go, Warwick, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Bit nervous, but otherwise it'll be cool.
You can't afford to be more nervous than Vincent right now.
Yeah, no, I didn't know the other person's answers at all, so it's all new. Half an hour of prep time.
So, Warwick, you want to just tell us a little bit more about yourself, what you do, all of that wonderful stuff?
Okay, sure. So, my name's Warwick Eccles. I would work as a development executive at Mannequin Pictures. We're a company that does international films out of South Africa. Our most recent film, London Calling, is currently in cinemas, so that's very exciting. Personally, during my time at Mannequin, I was the co-creator, co-director, and co-producer on a series called World's Strangest Jobs with Sculptor Zadenhout.
Great show. I've seen it. It's really
It's
good.
pretty fun, so that's a highlight. And yeah, basically, my passion for film lies in directing, writing, script development, and all around just story.
Well, that's beautiful, and Lunel, make yourself...
Spoilers!
Spoilers, Lunel, but speak yourself out. No, I'm joking. She's the one making sure that every frame flows with an editor's eye and a videographer's glow. Give it up for Lunel Bierkus. So you guys obviously heard a lot of applauding as well. We've got a full house today, which is awesome, but I don't want to take away from the fact that you are here on the show with us. Lunel, please tell us a little bit more about yourself.
I'm also interested in film. I'm trying to get started in doing continuity and script supervising on set. I've done a couple story films with CakeNet, which I've really enjoyed. And I've done a series as well. Right now I'm working with these lovely people doing videography and editing corporate stuff. But I'm always ready for that next project on a set. And my ultimate dream is to become a film editor full-time.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So guys, let's jump straight into the rules. The rules are simple. 3 contestants face off over 5 debate topics. Each round runs 10 minutes, and the host awards a point to the most passionate debater, the one with the sharpest argument and fiercest rebuttal. After 5 rounds, the top 2 scorers enter the speed round showdown. 5 rapid-fire questions with just 20 seconds to argue and 15 seconds to rebut. The overall winner gets crowned main character of the episode, while the other gladiators fade into obscurity as the extras. Cool. So I don't know if you guys can see, I'm sweating like crazy for some reason. And so it is amazing that we have got these fantastic drinks here. Once again, Tebedien is absolutely fantastic and amazing. Quickly off camera, can I just ask Huela, what is the name of this flavor?
Pair up.
Pair Up. And we are all pairing up together.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much to Tebedien. Let's have a quick little sippy sip. That is very good. The flavors get better and better every single episode.
And reminds me of a mojito.
Yeah, it does have like a pear mojito vibe, yeah.
I don't know what a mojito is.
This, but alcoholic.
I like my virgin mojito.
I'm not going to say which number, and in case we release them non-chronologically, but recently we had a kiwi cucumber flavor that he got to try and I didn't, and I'm still upset about it.
Yeah, no,
yes,
kiwi-
Tebedien's owner, Suela, is my wife, and I will hold her to making me one. But it's hard to make a single portion of these things.
So you guys might also, this is a dumb one, but this is a nice little segue into our questions. You might notice for the first time ever, I am not wearing a branded shirt. That is because I am usually the big... What are you laughing at?
It's like saying, look, this NASCAR has no stickers. I'm done selling out.
I am done selling out. No. So the reason is, this is not your typical big blockbuster action hero star episode. I am surrounded, as you heard,
By no.
by nerds. No, by cinephiles,
Oh,
by
nerds.
people who truly love the art of cinema. And I feel like I need to dress the part. So I am going to...
I can do an accent.
Yeah, son, so you see...
That's you
That's
sound
all-
like Nelson
I-
Mandela.
What was that
Nelson-
supposed to be?
I have, what do you call it? Accent blindness. I can't hear accents or see them either. Just some quick insight into some of the questions we're going to be asking. Today we're shedding light on the local film scene, and we'll also be asking questions about the best ensemble cast in a film, as well as about which movie should have been a musical. But let's calm all the way down, because I'm assuming based off the script I was supposed to be very excited there.
No, you're good.
Okay, fantastic.
Spoiler alert.
But let's calm all the way down and start with question 1. What is a horror film final girl? Is the last thing I asked ChatGPT in an attempt to maintain my he knows everything about movies reputation, because I know everything about movies.
So it was definitely meant for you.
This was definitely meant for me. This is what it said. The last surviving female character who confronts the killer often after all the others have been killed. But what if it was Disney? So tell us this. Which Disney princess would make the best horror film final girl? Warwick, we'll start with you.
Cool. So in my opinion, the best Disney princess to make the best final girl in a horror or slasher would be Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Namely because she starts off with that kind of same naive quality that the final girl usually starts off with, but she displays an inner resourcefulness. We see how she's into books. We see when she explores around the castle. She's not easily shied away, but she's also not, ripping and roaring with all these abilities. She's not a soldier, so it does put her at a disadvantage when put against, say, a slasher character, whether that be like a Mike Myers or a Mike Myers, he's an actor. Michael
Hey,
Myers.
I'm gonna
get or Jason Voorhees,
Yeah.
or even I would say probably the slasher villain she's up against, and that is actually LeFou, if hers was made into a. But yeah, that's it. Inner resourcefulness, start of naivety, but then fundamentally a resilience that we see throughout.
And moving on to you, Lenore.
My choice was Merida from Brave. And one of the traits of a final girl is bravery. So, and it's literally in the movie she's in. But a big thing about final girl as well is she's often traditionally seen as like the pure character who doesn't engage in immoral acts and stuff. And Merida does not have a love interest. So I feel like she fits in there quite nicely. Also, she canonically is very good with a bow and arrow and very resourceful, very driven. So I feel like she would really give any slasher a run for their money. The fact that she's so independent as well, she would definitely make it to the end. I don't think she would mind leaving some people behind if they weren't carrying their weight. So yeah, I think she would do the best in a slasher film.
And then you, Vincent.
Okay, so my answer is Princess. I don't know if she's actually a princess, but Tiana from...
Yeah, she marries a prince.
Great, yes, from Princess and the Frog. And the reason I took her for my character is because I thought of what princess fits the vibe of a horror film the best. Because if you stick a princess into a horror film, it would feel disjointed. But Princess Tiana lives in New Orleans, which the horrors are happening there every day. New Orleans. And is New Orleans or Florida?
That's New Orleans.
Okay, cool. Just didn't have time.
Because dreams come true in New Orleans.
Exactly, and that means it's the not the birthplace, but the home of voodoo. And she faced basically a horror villain in that film. She fits the tone of a horror movie. The horror, whatever horror movie she's thrown into, it fits the vibe of New Orleans and the weirdness and the wackiness of it. She's very resourceful and knows how to make what needs to happen, and she's not too quick to just not believe the weirdness of what she's seeing. I mean, it's a talking frog prince, and she was like, say no more, say less, I'm in. And if she could kiss a talking frog, then she could probably survive a horror movie.
Awesome, guys. Fight it out.
I have to say, you gave your Belle, Beauty and the Beast answer. I'm like, damn it, find a weakness, analyze. And I realized, here's the big problem with Belle. She can't help but befriend everything that's possibly possessed by a spirit in that film. So I don't see her being the final goal.
She doesn't exactly run from danger, does she?
Yes, she
kind of runs towards the danger.
The flying pots
But
and
I would say
pans,
that-
call that a friend.
But I would say that makes part of her bravery in regards to what would need to happen towards the end. Because again, when we look at a final girl sort of arc, right, we have to see her in context to other characters around her. She ultimately needs to get isolated by the end of the film, so she has that resurgence, right? So she can't be right off the bat, courageous and capable like a Merida, or even a Tiana. I'd say, she doesn't get spooked by her. She kind of already knows the danger, which typically the final girl does start naive. But there is an inner quality to her which is either innocent, which then stops her from being caught up in all the transgressive behavior that then gets everyone else axed or knives, as well as the fact that she has a sensibility around her which stops her from, creaking door, I wonder what that is. I mean, she does go into the West Wing. But,
That's what I was about to say. She literally...
But then starts making... we've got to have a chase here and there, for the sake of the film.
But you have to admit that she never does anything but get as close as she possibly can to the danger. Not in a clever way, and not in a big arc way, but more in a way of, I could probably save him. And I don't know if I want to save Michael Myers. I want to see him killed unexpectedly by the final goal.
But in this case, I never said the Beast was going to be her slasher, though.
But that's like just her traits. She's like,
there has to be
she sees
characters.
Jason Voorhees and says, that's just a broken man I could heal.
I can fix him. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, she wasn't saying that about Gaston, and he's clearly broken. So,
but it's just because he doesn't have any supernatural quality. That's her fetish, clearly.
Except for a supernatural ego.
And the problem with Merida is exactly what you said, is there isn't a twist. The whole point of a final goal is she's not supposed to make it to that point. Merida walks in, you're like, oh, she's going to be the one that lives to the end. So when she lives to the end, there's no subversion of expectation.
But she does run away from responsibility at the beginning of the film. So I feel like that's...
Is responsibility your big horror villain in this film?
If not, the responsibility was to save everybody else and defeat the bad guy, then I feel like that fits.
I mean, obviously all three here could work in some way. The problem...
Well, I'm real worried about Tiana. I don't think...
You should be. She's being chased by a very scary man.
No, but I don't know that she has the kind of... I don't know, like survival instinct. Like, sure, she makes the food in the river and she outsmarts the guy, but I don't know. I feel like she would get killed really quickly.
The thing is, I don't know if I should say this, but wouldn't it be cool for the black characters to make it to the end for once? So that would be nice.
That's kind of an argument against your point.
I know what you mean. So that's why I'm like, this might be stupid. But at the same time, I think there is that sense of she introduces herself to the risk without the risk catching her. So you give her a reason to get close to it without necessarily succumbing to it. Where she's all up in that with Belle, like she's as close as it can get, most likely. And with Merida, I just think there's no room for an arc. I understand her whole arc in that film and her whole thing is, if I don't believe it's a thing, I won't stand for it, and then she gets convinced by seeing is believing. And the whole point is, there's no innocence becomes jaded, becomes something else. She's already like in her final form in the beginning.
Another thing, I feel like Tiana, I'm not saying she's not smart, but her whole thing is hard work. So, right, and I really feel like a slasher, you need to outsmart the guy because you can't beat him physically most of the time. I feel like being able to outsmart the person, I'm not so sure that I've seen her do that much. I mean, besides the thing at the end, the rest of the movie, though.
Let's take that sentence. You can't beat him physically. Then Merida should not be your hero because her whole thing is physically beating.
But she doesn't physically. She'll shoot from an arrow. That's not physically engaging.
I want to see the guy that she was supposed to marry in your movie that just stupidly hits the target.
Which one? There were three.
The one that like zoom pa shoots the target. He's a very good final goal because he stupidly makes it to the end. But but yeah, it is tough. It's not
Vincent,
like
make this your final
sure.
argument.
I think I think Tiana is a good final girl because it's something that's different without completely changing the formula. Because obviously we're not trying to subvert expectations completely with this question. We're trying to meet expectations in an interesting way while still doing something new. And I think Tiana is a fresh take on the character. I do think she's very smart. I think she's portrayed smarter than most Disney princesses in a way where you can feel she has this business she wants to open up, and she's really into pastries. Who doesn't want that? So clearly she has a good head on her shoulders. She's not afraid of hard work, and all of that could translate into something different enough that it's fresh but not so different that Slasher fans are like, this isn't my type of thing. With Merida, I just think her final form is already reached. Like, she's already there. I think a final girl doesn't use the weapon she brings into the fight, and Merida brings a bow into the fight. And my problem with Belle is I think she's too quick to befriend the enemy, and that's not what you want. A final girl has to her core, stand against what she's opposed to and see it through.
Lonal, your final argument?
Lord, you make good points. There's a reason you're on the show.
No, tell him he makes bad points.
No, I'm
my point shaking
in my boots right now.
Don't tell him he makes good points. That's my first point.
Okay. I really feel like Merida would... Let me try again.
That's how you say it in Gaelic, isn't it?
I really feel like Merida would make a really good slasher because she's so capable and so smart and resourceful. I mean, she's able to survive in the wilderness with her bear mother. And I mean, I was just thinking now there's even that scene towards the end where she like commands the whole room full of these angry men. Like, I feel like she would be able to give the average slasher a run for their money, you know? Yeah. And also, I have the same point with Belle. Like, she really does befriend the evil, which is good for a Disney princess, but not good for a final girl, I don't think. Yeah.
Then Warwick, your final answer.
My final point is I think you've lost the point in regards to who she befriends. She never befriends evil. If anything, she stands against what she is fundamentally opposed to right till the bitter end. Fundamentally, the people that she's opposed to are guys like Gaston, LeFou, the evil guy who tries to take her father away, and she fundamentally always stands up for what is right. She never buckles to the societal pressure. She never, succumbs to danger because she's able to discern, but she also has a heroic quality about her as a result. I think fundamentally the final girl needs to always be on the back foot, but embrace an inner quality that everyone underestimates finally at the end, and enables her then to overcome the villain. So I disagree fundamentally with the point about her befriending. I think that's a cheap attack on poor Belle as a character. And
I just rang the bell.
Yeah. And no, I think fundamentally, if you look at where she starts and where she ends up going to, as well as then her innate qualities of being resourceful, being bookish, researching, but as well as being fundamentally kind and able to discern between the good and evil around her. That is why she makes a great final girl.
And that is the end of question 1.
This is going to be so hard. You guys are so good.
Can I please have the fact checker?
Hi.
This is Jeffrey's first time fact checking.
I'm so excited to see what he has to say.
Let's see how this goes. Jeffrey.
Okay, I don't have any corrections really, but some interesting facts. There will be maybe one correction on... Well, it wasn't a correction, you corrected yourself. But final girl. All right. The term was popularized by film scholar Carol J. Clover in her 1992 book, Men, Women, and Chainsaws, Gender in the Modern Horror Film. So the final girl is the last female character who survives a horror film, especially in slasher movies, and is characterized by being morally virtuous, resourceful, and often less sexually active than her peers.
Okay. That's so important. Damn, I'm a final girl.
That puts your Tiana out.
Then on New Orleans, because you thought it was what? What was it again?
I couldn't remember if it was Florida or New Orleans.
Yes, but it is New Orleans. So The Princess and the Frog features voodoo inspired by the real-life Marie Laveau, a New Orleans voodoo queen. All right. And so then it also, I just wanted to make mention of this, and incorporates the artifacts like Nkondi statues, though it often conflates different practices and uses creative license for its magical elements. So yeah, that's all I have to share.
I do have a question, because I was like, who the hell is LeFou? Please tell me. I don't know who that is.
LeFou is the little guy who's like supporting Gaston.
In what?
Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, LeFou. Is it her dad?
He's the guy that has the crush on Gaston.
Yeah, he's the
Judge Gad.
Yes, Josh Gad.
Cool.
But we're talking animated movies here, not...
Okay. Yeah. You guys.
Although one could say,
you know your Beauty and the Beast.
I would like to say this. It's so refreshing actually having people who know cinema so intimately that anytime you think you've got a good point, they have like 15 rebuttals against you. So every time someone thought they said something amazing, and I was like, no one's going to be able to argue their way out of this. All of you were like, no, but you forgot about this, and then now this does this, and then. So with all of that being said, I'm not going to look at any exact points while making this. All of you spoke brilliantly, but I'm going to give the first point to Warwick. I think he did a fantastic job, especially in his closing.
Yeah, your closing killed me.
To basically break down everything that they had tried to bring up against.
I will add, like when you were describing the battle, because I saw you picked it, didn't know why. And as you described, I'm like, I have nothing. I genuinely have nothing to do. Okay, cheap shot time.
So fantastic first round. We're moving on to question 2. If you are a frequent viewer of the show, you'll know that we love movies from across the globe, not just Hollywood. But today, we're looking inward and celebrating local by asking our gladiators, what is the best South African film of all time? Vincent, we'll start with you.
Okay, I usually attempt to not give the obvious answer and try to be cute and like a manic pixie dream girl or something, but my answer is like the obviously correct answer, which will be District 9. I like it because it's one of the best stories told in a way that it celebrates South Africa without excluding foreign viewers. I love the fact that it has brilliant action and CGI, a unique storytelling device in documentary style filmmaking, not always, but it's used in it. And I love the fact that a New Zealander and a South African could collaborate to make it happen, because it's just a celebration of filmmakers outside of Hollywood doing something amazing.
That's beautiful, Lonal.
The film I chose is a film called Joe Bullitt from 1973. I chose this film because historically it's the first film that had an all-black cast in South Africa, which, if you know our history, was a big deal.
1973, right?
1973, yeah. It screened only like once or twice in Soweto before it got shut down by the nationalist government. And then it only like recently in like 2014 got shown around again. And it's the best South African film because it's very much like a James Bond, but wholly South African. Like you'll watch and you'll be like, oh, this is kind of like James Bond, but it's so wholly South African. Like, I don't know if you've seen Blood and Water. Like they're trying to copy the Americans.
Couldn't agree more.
with the like the cups
Red cup.
and the, but with Joe Bullitt, it does not feel like that. It feels like South Africa. It starts in a soccer club. The guy walks around. You see the nationalist police around. So yeah, and it's fun. That's the other thing. It's fun. It's a fun crime James Bond detective story, and it ends, spoiler alert, with the bad guy being pushed off the edge, but instead of a bad guy, they use like a rag doll, and it is hilarious. Just watch the whole movie just for that last shot.
Okay.
And then Warwick, will end with you.
Cool. So the film I think is the best South African film is Tsotsi by Gavin Hood. Mainly because it won an Oscar for Best International Feature, which I think, although people might have their issues with the Academy, is a landmark achievement. And I don't think we've had a film that we've released since that has won an Oscar at that level. Maybe apart from My Octopus Teacher.
Yeah, I was about to say Octopus.
But I'm talking about what is so great about Tsotsi, though, is that it's a fundamentally human story which celebrates and exposes both sides of the South African context. You see the poverty as well as then the humanity that's fundamentally at play. It doesn't place one side, and it doesn't shy away from the realities of what we go through as a country. It also is an adaptation of Athol Fugard's novel. So you have a leading South African literary figure whose work is then translated, so it becomes overarchingly celebrating both mediums, as well as the fact that when you watch the film, its emotional quality and the way that it is filmed, technically, it stands out and everything is totally cohesive about the movie.
Fantastic. Fight it out.
I take issue with Joe Bullitt.
Okay. I take issue with Tsotsi.
I take issue with District 9.
All right.
No, because I do love Joe Bullitt as a concept. I love the idea of the South African James Bond, I mean, even like the JB sort of thing, carrying over Joe Bullitt, etc., going against. But I just found that for the idea it had at the time, it didn't execute particularly well. The cinematography, I find, is very shoddy because it's made on a shoestring budget. So, yes, they had the limitations of the time, but if you have to compare it to something like Tsotsi or even District 9, is that there's a cinematic
It was
quality.
made in 1973.
Under
when they
conditions-
weren't exactly giving money to...
but you see, I feel like they could have gone a bit better with it. Also, you talk about it being unique. The guy, and this is me getting a bit like, he's fun, but he's a parody then of the spy character. He's doing kung fu in a weird little dojo somewhere, and then, the plot line as well is they're investigating corruption in a football club, hardly notable of a James Bond type figure.
But isn't that what makes it a great South African film?
No,
because
that
it's stakes that South Africans can
But like,
understand.
if you
No,
have to
that
be
feels
honest,
dumb.
like, you're not gonna put like if an American flies over and is like, "Quick, tell me to watch one South African movie." No one is like, "Joe Bullet." No one is saying that because I think it can hold a special place to you, and it's like it's sweet. I think it's sweet because it has these goofy elements, and it tried to do something, and it got something right. Maybe not what it tried to do necessarily, but my big problem with it is the fact that it can't be the one thing you give to them, and you're kind of conveying this so bad it's good feeling. I haven't seen it, so going from what you're saying, and I can understand there's a lot of value to a movie like that, but I don't want South Africa to stand behind so bad it's good. And my the other thing with it is that I think it's more than the sum of its parts. So yes, it might have been the first movie with an all-black cast, as you describe it, and a monumental achievement for filmmaking in that era for a certain group of people. But that alone should not warrant a movie to do well. That's like, you can't take an idea and say that's why the movie's good. You still need to execute it well, because a good message makes a good movie not. With Tsotsi, all I remember about that is condensed milk and ants on a baby's face. I haven't seen it for a while, but that's all I can remember. So, granted, I must watch it well, but I love that you brought up Octopus Teacher, because guess what? That's also not the best documentary made by South Africans, but not far from it. It's amazing, but it clicked into exactly the little box the Academy wanted to paint South Africa as, and I think that's what Tsotsi did. And I think it's if someone said, give me one movie, you could give them Tsotsi and that would satisfy their needs. But in reality, it doesn't allow them to see more to South Africa than a specific part of it,
Yeah,
so.
I feel like it maybe contributed to the stereotype of what South Africa is that it's nothing except this divide between classes and crime, and even though there is that humanity part in it, like, I feel like there were maybe a better way to tell that story that didn't, I don't know, place the divide as the core plot.
Yeah.
What's the word? Plot driver.
Yeah.
So we'd rather have a film where the core concept is the divide between humans and aliens, reinforcing South Africa's xenophobic
Yes, 100%. Because
cultural legacy.
It's an accurate retelling of it, but that's not depressing, because it's just far removed enough from the real problem that you can have a good time. But afterwards, you're like, wait, I think that was about racism.
But you don't think District 9 was maybe pandering to Americans and the international audience?
Tell me, why do you think that? Because I don't think so whatsoever. Is it because it's aliens? Is aliens supposed to exclusively be an American plotline?
I suppose not.
So that's the thing. I understand what you mean. It does follow a little bit of a blockbuster story. But if the question was what's the best alien movie of all time, I would have still said District 9. So the fact that aliens could land in Joburg, and it's like the aliens factor, the Joburg factor comes together. I love that they coincide, because you know the version of that movie that it sounds like Warwick wants to see is just a movie where white people put black people in a squatter camp.
Yo, hectic. That is not my opinion.
And I prefer the aliens because
that's a dirty statement right there. Man.
Yeah, I thought you were supposed to.
No, I'm just saying, based on what you said, that it's pretending to be one thing. I think it's commentary that's at least like there's subtext. It's not just feeding you the thing, which Tsotsi does.
Well, no. So I'll give then to, I don't mean to give a point in this, but District 9 does a good job in being commercial and in using sci-fi to displace.
That one got deep, I'm not going to lie. It does a great job of being commercial.
No, that I think that is a valid success for criteria for a film. We want to make our money back. We want to do something we haven't seen before. The thing is, though, that I feel like what it does is foregrounds its spectacle, and then it dilutes substance a little bit, whereas what Tsotsi does is it's a lot more classical, it's a lot more archetypal, and you have this hero's journey with the Tsotsi character, and fundamentally embracing and being portrayed within the reality of South Africa. What he does, though, is take us to a highly aspirational ending at the end when he gives the child back and takes on then the guilt of his crime of having, kidnapped the child. Basically, we don't know if he's going to jail or not. He doesn't know what's going to happen to him, but he ultimately surrenders himself over to the moral good as opposed to looking out for himself. So his character arc is great, and I feel like with the character arc, and with Vickers, in District 9, it doesn't land that same level. It's emotive, but it's a little more bleak, and it leaves us just lying around in this kind of quagmire. Okay, but that was cool, but we don't really solve anything. Whereas you can walk out of Tsotsi and be like, yes, that is how we as a country should act. This is what we should be aiming for. And then Joe Bullet, I feel like it would be better if it had more budget. I want to see Guy Ritchie do Joe Bullet.
Yeah.
I want to see him taking down an African warlord and doing stuff that actually deserves the concept of the character. But his current iteration just doesn't stand.
I don't know. I feel like Joe Bullet...
Lunel, can you make this your final argument?
All right. I feel like Joe Bullet walked so all these other films could run. The fact that this kind of cinema was made, and South Africa was at one point had the best cinema in the world at one point because of all our cameras and stuff. It was because of Joe Bullet and movies like that. Sorry, it was because of Joe Bullet and movies like that where they pushed the boundaries. They didn't have budget, but they still did their best. They still made the film like they thought a South African James Bond should be. And I don't know if I've seen other films from 1973, and I feel like the cinematography isn't that different. Obviously, it's not the best. It's not Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
But it's
the best Citizen Kane.
But I don't.
Which was made in the 1930s.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I think it deserves more. I think it deserves more recognition and more respect for the historical role that it played.
Warwick, can you give me your closing argument?
I think I just stand on business. It won an Oscar. No. But to elaborate on that, I think fundamentally it's a really human story. It greatly uses setting in order to amplify its narrative as well as bring audiences who aren't from South Africa into a world that they haven't seen without making it a stereotype or a caricature of what it is. It's fundamentally just a great movie that I think we can all be proud of. And I think we have to accept that the fact that it received an Oscar shows that the world thinks that it is something worth celebrating as well. And I think that for me is why we can be proud of it as our best movie.
And then Vincent.
I think if we compare directors, I don't know who directed Joe Bullet, so not with you, but with Warwick, I'll start there, is Gavin Wood went on... No, let's first look at District 9. Neil Blomkamp, look, he's fallen off a bit. I won't deny that. He's made some flops, but the two movies he made after District 9, as I understand it, is Elysium and Chappie. Both of those are big Hollywood blockbusters that refused to take that South African essence out of it. It was infused in it, undeniably so. So he continued to build in a genre he loves, which is sci-fi, without removing that South African essence to it. Gavin Wood went on to make X-Men Origins Wolverine, one of the most hated X-Men movies. I actually think it's underrated, but it is one of the most hated, and there was not an ounce of South Africa in that thing. He went on completely sold out, went on to the next thing, and just moved on, where I love that Neil Blomkamp didn't lose that. With Joe Bullet, I love that it exists, and I love that you're shining light on it. I hope more people watch Joe Bullet because of it. But you said your movie walked so that ours could run. I'd rather take the running movie than the walking one.
Another fantastic round. Jeff,
I'm having fun.
You want to pop up and do some fact checking for us?
Hi. Okay, so just more facts because I think there's very different, interesting comments passed around. So on Joe Bullet, okay. So it was an all-black cast. That's correct. And just the interesting thing is that this movie was banned in South Africa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the original reels were hidden by producer Tony van der Merwe for nearly 40 years.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It got shown twice. Yeah. The nationalist government nuked it.
Yeah, and the apartheid government quickly banned the film due to concerns about how it might affect the aspirations of black South Africans.
Give them a hero.
Oh no! There's a hero! They want to do things with their lives.
Yeah, and then another one is, so District 9 is considered a commercial movie, as it was a financial success, earning over $210 million at the box office.
That's not that good.
Against a $30 million budget.
How the hell did they make that on 30 million? Well done.
It's incredible, right?
That's impressive, right?
Yeah, can't deny that.
Okay.
You know, Everything Everywhere All at Once was a $60 million movie. Sorry. Continue.
No, that's cool.
That's
cool.
crazy that's double the amount.
No, South Africa has not been described as having the best cinema at any point, though it possesses one of the oldest and most historically significant film industries in the world.
I believed exactly what you believed, though, because I did believe at a point we did.
Yeah.
But that's still
I think I was thinking of oldest, but yes.
Yeah. And then just films from Neil Blomkamp's filmography, District 9, Elysium, Chappie, and most recently Gran Turismo.
And the demon one? The one
Demonic.
which apparently was sucked.
Bye-bye.
But no facts for
No, he just nailed it. He just nailed it.
Perfect. No, so...
It did win an Oscar. It did win an Oscar.
Yeah. And as we all know, every film that wins an Oscar is perfect.
So it did win it, right? Was it Best International Foreign?
Best international pictures.
And his acceptance speech was genuinely beautiful as well.
Did Gavin Wood give a speech?
Gavin Hood.
Is it not Wood?
Hood.
Fact check.
Why would Warwick not say the right thing?
Yeah.
He didn't get fact
No,
checked
but to be
once.
fair, it's like he had time to prepare, so probably you're right. I always thought it was Wood.
Gavin Hood?
I always thought it was. I've been saying Wood. Luckily, no one knows who that is. Otherwise, I wouldn't got in trouble.
Yeah, it got 23 wins and 18 nominations.
That must be more than just the Academy.
23 wins and 18 nominations.
It won more than it got nominated for.
Yeah, so won Best International Feature Film in 2006.
It's because the wins are the ones that won the nominations. It didn't go further.
Ah, fantastic. I need to confirm
You had to
that.
explain that to yourself.
Then, okay, so just quick question for Vincent, because this I need you to expand on a point.
Sure.
Give me the name of a famous archer who steals from the rich to give
Robin Hood. Robin Wood. Robin Wood.
Just confirming. Okay, cool.
And I love Red Wood from, is it DC?
Yeah, great character. Okay, another fantastic round.
Yeah, there's a problem. This off camera. There's a problem with my car, and I need to check under the wood to see what's wrong. If you'll help me later, thank you.
You know what I really enjoyed about Planet of the Apes is how they all escaped the Red Hood Forest at the end. Okay,
That's good.
It's getting niche.
There's so much chaos happening.
What happened back there?
Bye, curtains. Okay. We are a professional podcast. So fantastic round again. I just love how everybody is able to just speak in such a in-depth manner, and it's awesome to learn while listening. We had a film pop up a few episodes ago on becoming a guinea fowl, which I was like, this movie exists, I must watch more of it.
Never heard of that.
And you must watch more of it.
I have told her about it. Yes, it's okay.
But that's how I feel about Joe Black now. So
Joe Bullitt.
Sorry, Meet Joe Black is a movie with Brad Pitt, Joe Bullitt.
Also a great movie.
Yes, also a great movie. But that's how I feel now about Joe Bullitt. I want to go do research.
I also
want
wanna
to
watch it.
I
You can watch it on
want to
YouTube.
see this
Really?
film. Like,
Yeah.
I want to watch it.
The full movie's on YouTube.
I'm very excited to watch it. Like, as soon as you guys go, I am.
It sounds
watching.
honestly right up his alley.
Yes, no, 100%. So I'm definitely going to be checking that out. So thank you for bringing that to our
I
attention.
agree.
And I think that's what's so great about this is just being able to talk about South African films. And so that this is my short way of going, despite the fact that we were able to talk about these unknown South African films. I'm actually going to go with the most common one being the winner, because I think Vincent did do a fantastic job of just building it up, and also looking at all the themes that it explored.
It genuinely is an excellent movie. I genuinely think District 9
is.
is fantastic.
So another
I'm happy to lose to District 9.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't. My point came across wrong earlier. I apologize.
So yes, with that being said, we now have our first 2 points assigned. We're moving on to question 3. Now, we all know what makes any movie better. Singing! I can't hit that note.
That was singing, apparently.
Actually, no, it doesn't. But we believe in our talented gladiators and their ability to convince us otherwise. So please tell us what movie should have been a musical, and if you happen to make up a song and sing it as well,
No, don't do that.
I will gladly let that sway my opinion. Okay, Warwick, let's start with you.
Okay, cool. So for a film that should have or could have been a a musical, I picked Doctor Strangelove by Stanley Kubrick, mainly because I was thinking about what is it that we watch in a musical that we really, really like. It comes down, it needs to have a highly theatrical kind of quality. Ideally, a couple of characters you can base yourself around, but also scope for an ensemble to support and or to have the chorus, you add to the numbers and have all, that fun bit. But it also must then have some deep themes that by the end of it, you haven't just watched something which, is fluff. And so for me, Doctor Strangelove fits that very well because it is originally a satire. And so it's very tongue-in-cheek, very theatrical. And also the way that Kubrick shot the film is very theatrical as well. He's very good with his wides and composing them. And you've got then these key characters that are all played by Peter Sellers as well. So like you could double up on the actor as well and do some cool themes there. And which each of them become mouthpieces for different parts and different perspectives around the Cold War conflict, which then I think just displaces into some really cool music you can do. There's representation from Russia, the United States, the UK, and Germany, which then lends itself to the score very nicely to let people hand off each other and bring those motifs in. But ultimately, by the end of it, it lands a really, really interesting emotion in how all the characters spiral in this absurd theatrical expression of it's okay for us to blow each other up. So I think that'd be a great final number.
Lornell?
So I picked Princess Diaries because of the cast. So you've got your Julie Andrews, you've got your Anne Hathaway, who have starred in good and some good musicals. We both know they can sing. That's what we need to know. Okay. And the whole concept of this normal American girl finding out that she's secretly a princess feels very theatrical and musical to me. The fact that it's set in a modern day, you can akin it to something like Rent, which did very well. But then it's also got the princessy side. So then you can do very cool costumes and set design and very cool things. And you can do interesting songs. You could do songs from Mia's perspective, from the Queen's perspective. You could do a really cool number with Joe, the bodyguard Joe. A really fun thing about his backstory that doesn't exist. And I think I like my musicals to be light and a bit silly. I find myself kind of drifting if the musical gets too serious. So yeah, that's why I chose Princess Diaries.
And then Vincent.
Can I please just get the question again, exactly worded?
Oh no.
I just want to make
What
Technicality.
movie should have been a musical?
Okay. Yay. Because then now I'm going to win. Don't listen. Okay, so I went with the should've. That's what I focused on because I went with the should've of the question because I'm assuming by that statement that the movie is getting swapped, or at least we're assuming it should be improved by being a musical. So inherently, I understand that as can't have a good movie be the answer. So I thought, what was something interesting and weird and surreal that adding music could give it the context it needs? And that's why I say Beau is Afraid. Now, Beau is Afraid, obviously that's Ari Aster's third film after Hereditary and Midsommar. And it had such great potential and it told an interesting story, but not a good one because it was too long and it was too convoluted without telling us what it was really about. And adding music to something like that could give it context. Now, I'm on the opposite side of Lornell where, yes, I do like a light musical, but I do like a heavy one. Not Les Mis. I'm not talking about that. That sucks. I'm talking about just I like music that makes me feel something. I want to cry when the music. I'm happy with that. And I think Beau is Afraid, dealing with themes of a difficult relationship with your parents, with your mother, could be interesting. And just genuinely just building music around those big set pieces, the scary, crampy New York that's horrific, and everyone's trying to get him and get into his apartment. If you made that a musical number of him trying to this horrific, imagine a horror musical moment, it would be interesting. And my film lends itself to just something new and different musically.
Fire it out.
I'm going to go. I don't care. I'm going to jump back in. One point I want to make, and I have a few, but I'm going to start with that, is I would say Mean Girls, Princess Diaries came out around the same time, same vibe, and you saw what happened when they turned Mean Girls into a musical. I'm going to shoot myself in the foot and say, I really liked it, but no one else did, so it doesn't matter. I really liked the Mean Girls musical, but it doesn't work. And you're going to do the same thing to Princess Diaries. Let's imagine a remake or whatever. it's just not going to land the same way. It's proven by
You're not
Winkles.
giving reasons why, though.
Because it undercuts the story, and they're probably going to focus more on the music than the cast. Okay, tell me, in your version, are you keeping all the same cast 100%?
Well, maybe Julie Andrews, I would time travel back a couple years.
Sure. No, let's imagine it's then, when it happened, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Because she had most of...
She old now.
Well, no, but she had surgery that hurt her vocal cords. So I would time travel.
No, I'm not gonna use that.
bit.
But she had surgery on her vocal.
I don't know, but Beau is Afraid. Beau is Afraid is a very surreal film, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's very surreal.
I don't know if that would translate well to a musical because, I mean, an audience has to suspend their disbelief already for characters just bursting out into song. If you have to add a level of the original surreality of the film, I don't know. I feel like it maybe just might come off looking like Cats or something. You'll get confused by the weirdness that you might not get the themes of the like you might put two and two together about the mother.
Are you saying that if you mute Cats, it's a good movie?
I mean, it's very theatrical. It's very much a musical.
The problem... Wait, can I bring up Cat Buttle? It's perfect. No, I'm joking.
You can.
No, it's just... I hear what you're saying, and I do think that's a fantastic point, but realistically with Cats, it was doomed on every level.
What do you mean doomed? It's the longest running...
As a film, if you take Cats and divide it into 8 equal parts of all the sum of its parts, I think every part sucks. The cast was a bad cast, even though they were an ensemble.
We're using valuable time talking about...
Fair enough. I just think that
apply.
Cats was doomed. It's a different type of surreal. So Beau is Afraid is beautiful. Like that movie, the problems it has is it leaves too much up to subtext.
I'll tell you what the problem it has. It is fundamentally...
I'll tell you.
I'm excited to hear.
The problem with Beau's Afraid, it was made by someone with a master's in filmmaking who made a beautiful movie and made beautiful sequences, but as a coherent whole, it's like, what the hell is this movie about by the end? You can pick up on things, but it's too much of an impression for it to hold itself together, compared to a Princess Diaries or a Doctor Strangelove. With Princess Diaries is super archetypical in that regard, but I wonder if that might not make it a bit boring. Whereas Doctor Strangelove, you can very clearly see, here's the conflicts that are at play. We're dancing between these characters, these different perceptions. We can bring in the music can serve now as an argument, particularly in my opinion, in regards you bring in those those ethnic or national songs and sort of feels into allow them to do battle with each other. And as well as it's fundamentally dialogue driven between the characters already, you just translate that into the music already. With Beau's Afraid, it's got beautiful visual sequences where the characters are sort of maybe talking about not really being said, and I'm worried that we just lose the audience into a Cats-like energy of we sort of get a thing, but is it actually a marked improvement? I don't think so. I think making it a musical might just keep it on the same level, and it wouldn't be the improvement just saying it should have.
Here's the problem.
Your final argument.
Okay, sure. So, Doctor Strangelove, once again, the question is should have. So that means you do believe adding music to that movie makes it better. Now, that's already a highly critically acclaimed movie, something that's seen as, you have to watch this probably on IMDb's top 100. I bet you it is, but it doesn't matter. Now, I think you are taking away from it. It feels a bit derivative of, and I haven't seen it, so excuse me if I'm wrong, but it feels derivative of The Producers, where it's telling this satirical story of war and adding music to it to make it okay. And I think, although maybe it would be entertaining, it wouldn't be as hard-hitting. I think it would undercut it. And also, please correct me in... Doctor Strangelove came out in what, the 60s? When did it?
I think it was the 50s.
Okay, cool. Let's go with the 50s.
Fact checker can let me know.
Yeah,
I think
sure.
I want to say 1956.
Okay. Let's assume 50s. I don't think we had a shortage of musicals, and I think to leave that to be what it is better than just adding another musical, because then it would just become another musical from the 50s. And the whole problem with Princess Diaries is I think it tells a sweet story with. I think it would be cute to add music. I don't think it's this. So much better. It would do nothing more than maybe enhance it slightly or possibly make it way worse, but I don't think it makes a big difference. And with Beau's Afraid, I do believe the issue with that movie is context. I do believe that it just... You sit afterwards and okay, I have to go figure all this out now. You have to do homework with Beau's Afraid. And I'm suggesting add music that gives context. Now, if you haven't seen Beau's Afraid, there is a giant monster penis in it at the end that attacks Beau, and there is a cult with an animated scene that you could just make musical. I believe all these elements with music added, and not in a jokey way. I'm not pitching a comedy. I'm genuinely pitching the way the movie shifts genres a lot. Let the music shift with it. Yes, it would be experimental, and I can't guarantee it would be better, but I'd rather watch that than playing the safe option of making another musical in the 50s or making Princess Diaries musical, which, like, if you had to put a gun to my head, I'd be like, isn't it already one? You know what I mean? Like, it's just... It doesn't feel like it does anything spectacular.
Okay, Warwick, let's move on to you for final arguments.
Okay, final arguments. So I get what Vincent's saying about the question being about, would it improve or should have been a thing? I think it could be taken as I'm going to just honestly say I just thought, hey, what would be a cool musical? But I do think regarding Beau's Afraid, I think it will still remain convoluted. I think with then Princess Diaries, I think it would be a stronger musical than A Beau's Afraid, but I think ultimately it might end up just being a little bit more vanilla. Regarding then my answer was Dr. Strangelove, I'm going to say that it has the most potential out of all the ideas in regards to keeping itself as a coherent whole, while then being expanded and allowing the experience of it to be amplified by the music due to the fact about the different perspectives, the casting, the different nationalities all at play. And then also the fact you spoke about it being just another musical from the 50s. I think it would be another great musical from the 50s and add the entire catalogue of works that we have from that time period.
And then Lonal, your final argument.
I think you're basing a lot of your argument on the question, like using the technicality of the question to bolster your argument, which I don't think is in good spirit. But I think
mom and dad all over again.
But I feel like Princess Diaries would make an amazing musical. I mean, you've got Julie Andrews. I mean, she makes a musical. The only reason like Sound of Music was the hit that it was largely because of her. Imagine if she worked that same kind of magic with Princess Diaries, and it has
100 years later. Sorry, continue.
For Dr. Strangelove, did you say that all the characters play different nationalities?
Well, there are various nationalities represented across the story. You've got Americans, you've got the Germans, you've got then
Okay, never
USSR
mind.
guys.
I was looking for holes
But Peter Sellers plays 3 different characters in that movie.
of the same race.
Yes.
She really wants racism.
It's the 1950s, but he didn't do that.
This is not Breakfast at Tiffany's.
I was looking for that. Anyway, I think Princess Diaries, it's a really sweet story. It's a really good arc. The characters are really likable and different and quirky. There's a really nice love story in there, which is typical of all musicals and all good ones. And yeah, I don't know. I just think it would be really good.
Cool. There we go.
He's so formal today.
Darth Vader waits patiently.
Yeah.
Just like I've...
Stop stroking his crotch.
No, I was stroking his shit.
Okay.
But also, just like how... now remember, the fact checker can only come up when summoned. So
nice.
just as how Darth Vader has been waiting patiently, you must see how Jeffrey's been just waiting. Please give us some facts.
I must be summoned. Okay, so, Warwick. Doctor Strangelove was released in 1964.
Oh, wow. A whole 9 years.
1 year after Doctor Who. That's my fact.
Right, and it is ranked number 66 on IMDb's top 100 movies.
It's obviously on there.
So that's a good one. And then, interesting fact about Peter Sellers. Peter Sellers was paid $1 million, which was more than 55% of the film's entire budget, leading to Kubrick to famously remark, "I got 3 for the price of 6."
That's a great quote.
That's such a burn.
Peter Sellers is someone famous and I can't place it. You know
Pink
that.
Panther.
Pink Panther.
Okay.
No.
It sounds like something you should know. Who am I thinking? Cullen. Peter Cullen.
Yeah, there we go.
Does your dog bite?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good quote.
I don't get it.
It's one of the most famous quotes where he's like, "Does your dog?" And he tries to, and then the dog bites him. He's like, "You said your dog didn't bite." He's like, "But that's not my dog."
Is that where that's from? I don't think okay, sorry.
Again, accent blindness. Okay, then Anne Hathaway's musicals. She's done Les Mis, famously, and Julie Andrews, plenty.
Yeah. All of them.
Obviously Mary Poppins.
Yeah, and Sound of Music. But interesting fact, in 1997, she had surgery to move
That?
the benign nodules from her vocal cords. But this left permanent damage where she cannot sing anymore.
But Princess Diaries was after that, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying we'd have to go back in time.
Oh, she didn't sing that. Sorry, I forgot. I forgot that's your pitch, not the real movie. Okay.
That's it from me. Thank you.
Okay, my bad.
We have to go back in time.
Good,
a little bit.
good correction. That's good.
So to avoid sounding like a broken record, obviously everyone brought great points. And I think I want people to know just how close every single round has been.
Doesn't feel very close.
Yeah, listen,
No, it really is, I can tell.
You need to stop being so negative because you won this one. Like the point is yours. There you go. There's your points. I thought you did a fantastic job, and you explored the themes well. And out of everyone, I'd go, oh yeah, I could watch a Princess Diaries.
No, but that's not for you.
You fought an uphill battle, my guy.
No, I want to watch mine.
Guess what? You don't get to choose who gets the points.
You see me make it.
When I saw Mel's answer, I honestly thought, damn, actually,
Yeah,
that one should.
yeah.
And I was like, and to like Vincent in the first round, I was like, snap, what can I say?
Yeah.
It'll just be vanilla. I'm like, no, actually, like out of everything, I think that would be.
No,
the
I'll
best
tell you,
one.
Lauren. Obviously, my point against it sucked. I didn't know what to say. So.
But even Doctor Strangelove, fantastic answer. Honestly, even Bo is Afraid, I can see exactly why you chose it. So everyone, again, the points were
I chose it
great.
30 minutes ago.
Yeah. So again, across the board, I think you guys don't doubt yourself because you are genuinely always so close to one another. So even if you're not getting the point, you were like one good argument away from the point. Moving on to question 4. If the film industry had one philosophy, it would be this: throw a famous face on it and that will make it sell. And hey, sometimes it does. But what's better than one famous face? Many famous faces.
They just swore at the camera.
Sorry.
Hey!
You have to blur that one out. You're giving Vincent yourself.
Yeah, I'm giving myself editing work.
I think you should keep it.
No, I'm going to keep it in, but I have to blur this and this and that.
So tell us, what film had the best ensemble cast of famous faces? Let's start with Lunel.
Oh, me. So my answer was Knives Out. I feel like it has the best ensemble cast because of the way they all play off of each other. So you've got Toni Collette, you've got Chris Evans, you've got Ana de Armas, you've got Daniel Craig, you've got Freaky Friday, what's her name?
I literally thought about it earlier. Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis.
You've got Jamie Lee Curtis. And I feel like what's really impressive about...
And Georgie. No, Georgie's brother.
Jonathan something.
Oh, you got Jonathan. You did better than me.
So what I feel is really impressive about this ensemble cast is that they play that ever elusive white family that actually hates each other, rich white family that hates itself and hates each other, and it's hilarious. Like, it's so funny. You can really feel like the brothers. Michael Shannon plays the one guy. Christopher Plummer. How can I forget him?
Is it his last role? One of his.
I think so. Yeah, he's only in it for like 8 minutes, but he's amazing. So I really feel like the movie is made by the characters all playing off of each other, like the interview scene where Daniel Craig is interviewing every single character, and I think it's just amazing. It's so fun. And like when they're all together in one scene, like I think the directors would say, like, sometimes we just let them improvise, and like the little kid character like came up with some crazy line about like an anchor baby, and he was like, that was totally improvised, and he was like, no, Michael Shannon told me to say that, or something like that. I'm a fact checker, will probably prove me wrong, but
I made that up. I improvised.
I didn't mean to, but I'm pretty sure I heard a story like that.
Similar.
So yeah, that's why I think that's the best ensemble cast.
Cool. Let's move on to Vincent.
Okay, so my answer is Ocean's 12, not Ocean's 11, even though I know a lot of people would rather argue for that.
The same cast.
No, exactly. But the thing is, the reason I'm arguing for the cast in that movie is because they're slightly more familiar with one another, comfortable with one another, and it doesn't make a huge difference, but even if it's 10% better, I think it is. And also because I think they do one of the funniest gimmicks, and that's why I chose this, is they do something so interesting with Julia Roberts in that movie. And I thought, especially for a movie from like 20 years ago, I'm like, what? That's like, they had the balls to do that. So I don't know the character name in Ocean's 12, but the character played by Julia Roberts, let's call her Jessica. Jessica, played by Julia Roberts, find out that Julia Roberts is going to visit this casino, so they use that as part of a heist. So Julia Roberts plays both Julia Roberts and this Jessica character, not a real name. And I just think that's really cool to play around with something like that. That's just one small part of it. I think all of the ensemble cast, they go so nicely, they flow in and out of one another's characters and stuff so nicely. Everyone serves their role much like a heist. I think there's a nice parallel to be drawn between the way that every actor plays their part equally to how every character plays their role equally in the heist. Like it just all works together. So I think it's the perfect celebration of an ensemble cast.
Fantastic. And then Warwick.
Perfect. So the film I chose for this is Love Actually by Richard Curtis. Why I think it makes such a great ensemble cast, you've got basically the who's who of UK acting royalty in that film. You've got Alan Rickman, you've got Bill Nighy, you've got Hugh Grant, the little fop that he is. Love that. His hair's fantastic. Keira Knightley, the list goes on. And I think what's great about... No, I don't think Rowan Atkinson is. No, he does.
No, he is. Yes, he's the jewel salesman, I think.
Yes, you see, exactly. Case in point. Thank you. And I think what's great about that is that you're seeing all your favorite stars in movies, but what they're doing fundamentally is they're fully embracing what the ensemble film actually does, which is not a whole bunch of characters just interacting with each other, but fundamentally characters all pursuing their own storylines, interwoven together, not to create a goal-driven, plot-driven story, but ultimately a tapestry which gets a theme across to the audience. That is the ensemble piece in its rawest and its most intense form, as opposed to the examples listed by my opponents.
And fight.
I have a lot to say. I'm gonna. I'll pause. I did go first last time. I'll reserve.
I'll say, where do you get that definition of what an ensemble cast is supposed to do? Because I feel like all the most famous ensemble casts, like the Murder on Orient Express, Lord of the Rings, like these ensemble casts, I don't think have anything to do with like separate stories that come together to create.
Let's talk about an ensemble film or an ensemble cast is one that we have multiple characters all across a movie which all have relatively same screen time, but ultimately we're not focused on one character or their goal. In Murder on the Orient Express, we're following Poirot trying to solve a murder, looking at everyone else's characters. So you have him playing off characters.
And we don't finish it because it sucks.
I will argue with Robert McKee on this point when he talks about the difference between archetypal story versus mini plot. He talks about that your fundamental archetypal story has a central protagonist who you're aligned to, right? Mm-hmm. And then fundamentally, when you drift out of that, you start getting to multiple protagonists, etc. It gets then diluted into what he calls mini plot. And fundamentally, you can't be oriented around a single character primarily if you are doing a true ensemble piece. So you look at something like Knives Out. Yes, you've got all your characters, all your favorite actors playing off each other, but it's fundamentally Anna de Armas' story. She is our protagonist interacting with a bunch of supporting characters, and the fact that it's an investigative story as well, they're just there by virtue of needing plot. We need suspects. They're not fundamentally pursuing their own goals and giving us a rich theme.
But then I raise you Ocean's 12, because yes, you can do it with yours,
12
you can do it with others. There's no main character in Ocean's 12. There's a cast.
Ocean's 12, basically what you have there is them collapsing in onto each other.
With
Danny Ocean is the protagonist of that story. So I see it would have been clearer if we'd looked at Ocean's 11, but I think with your Ocean's 12...
There's no Julia Roberts in that.
She's in that.
Not the as herself.
Everything relates back to then a single character in that movie, which is it's not Frank Ocean.
A tornado.
The Danny Ocean character. Yeah. And so again, while he's playing off other characters, and yes, they're all invested, fundamentally they're all after the same goal, thus collapsing them into a single protagonism. And so I think to get a truly ensemble cast, you need something like Love Actually, where we're following Hugh Grant and his love interest, their story. We've got Martin Freeman and his story over there. And the director and the screenwriter overlap them through interlinked relationships. But fundamentally, each of those could stand together as short films. So it truly embraces the form of what an ensemble cast does.
I feel like it's too narrow a definition.
No, I think it's fundamentally classical and academic.
No, the thing is, I agree that it's two different ways of doing it, but you haven't said that there's a superior... You've just stated that there's two ways of doing it, our way and your film's way of doing it. So my problem with Love Actually, it is a fantastic film. There's no way I'm going to question that. But we're talking about an ensemble cast, and in no way is it a celebration of that, because a celebration of an ensemble cast is seeing how a million people play off of one another. Obviously, I'm being hyperbolic, but the way that that they play off of one another is the fact that what makes an ensemble cast good. The thing that I love about Knives Out, what I love about Oceans, all of the 11, 12, and 13, is the fact that the characters bounce off one another in the way that when Avengers does it right in the first few Avengers, it's got that energy. Like that scene in Avengers Age of Ultron where they're sitting in, you're just chilling. That's just the Oceans movie. Yes, that's the Oceans movies. All of them. So I love the way that they bounce off of. Your movie, although brilliant, is just channel flipping through the best rom-coms ever. Like that's what it is. It's great, but it's not a celebration. And the problem with Knives Out is that it's just people doing caricatures of certain archetypes of family members. There's no depth to a single character except for Ana de Armas and maybe Christopher Plummer. But like even Chris Evans, he's just like, he's a Scooby-Doo villain in that movie.
But if you think about Jamie Lee Curtis's character when she's first portrayed as like this mean old white lady, but then she mean old white racist lady, but then
The best kind of.
but then she's given depth where she's
becomes a slightly less mean racist old white lady.
She's betrayed by her brother, and her father left her a secret message, and she shows compassion and not redemption.
I know what you mean. Like, she comes full full arc.
No, what's the other R that's not redemption? Reconciliation? I don't know. But like she's more than the character. And also with Love Actually, same point as Vincent. Like the whole point of an ensemble cast is like seeing your favorite crossover of all time. Like, ooh, that guy from this movie and this person from that movie are in the same movie. And I get to see them like interact with each other. Like, you've always wanted to see.
Imagine someone says, Mr. Bean and Hugh Grant, same movie. Oh, they never talk. But weren't you excited about that?
Yeah.
That's disappointment you experience by getting that information that they like.
Make your final argument.
Okay, so here's the problem with your movie. Yes, sure, they all get their big arc. That's what you claim. I don't believe so, because at the end of the day, the movie starts and ends the same way. She stands on the rooftop, she takes a sip of the mug that says, my house, my rules, my whatever. And she looks down upon them. She looks at them in the same way she looked at them in the beginning of the movie. The movie tells you, look, they haven't changed, she has. The hierarchy has changed, nothing about the characters have changed. The movie literally makes that a point. So your characters don't do anything, they just do what the movie needs them to do, which is be a bunch of Cluedo characters. So I'll be honest with you, Knives Out is my favorite film from 2019, bar Joker maybe. I don't care, I still like the first one. But that being said, it does not, I think it's a fantastic movie because the characters just serve the purpose they need to serve. It's not a good use of an ensemble cast. I genuinely do believe that even though all your actors do fantastic work in the film, my film is the only movie that celebrates a multi-dimensional ensemble cast, because there are twists and turns not only in the plot but in their characters, and you love to see how they interact. You love to hear that Steven Soderbergh quick dialogue, things change. It works, and it's a proper celebration of it.
I don't know, I still think mine is better because of there's more conflict. Like in Ocean's 11, sure, there's conflict, but they're all Ocean's 12, sorry. There's conflict, but they're all on the same side, because they all got the same goal. Whereas with the ensemble cast, like there's infighting inside, there's manipulation, where the older characters try and use Catherine... the girl from sorry,
no, I can't. Well, you're talking about Ocean's 12.
The young female character from 13 Reasons Why, Catherine
Zeta-Jones.
Oh no, you were talking about Knives Out now. Hannah that kills herself.
I don't know. But the actress's name I can't remember. They manipulate her, and then you get to see that dimension of this family dynamic.
She's in that.
And with Daniel Craig playing against, it's like this ultimate crossover where you get to see James Bond interrogate what are those?
What's the blonde lady?
Blonde lady? Toni Collette.
No.
Yeah, you get to see James Bond interrogate the mother from Hereditary. Like,
and Zod from
it's just
Superman.
Cool. Like it's that's what an ensemble cast is about. So you get to see all these people be about each other, all these this amazing talent together. And I think that's really cool.
Warwick.
Okay, I think in summary from my side, we have to ask the question about, is there a difference between crossover and ensemble? Is the point of an ensemble just to create an experience where we throw our favorite things together and see how they play out? Whereas when we look at what happens in something like Love Actually, where it's using the idea of what ensemble is, a lot of actors, a lot of them playing off each other ultimately in service of a greater theme, as opposed to just mashing things together. I don't think that's good enough of grounds to say that makes a great ensemble piece, is we just mash our favorite pieces together, because then it's fan fiction, etc. Yes, fundamentally it's a question of form and function. I think the true use of an ensemble cast is best used in order to allow us to explore theme, enable the audience to see something they haven't seen before. We've seen the Knives Out plots, we've seen the Ocean's 12, we've already seen it in Ocean's 11, whereas in Love Actually you see something very interesting, which the characters at first aren't interacting, but fundamentally it raises a question, okay, I'm watching all my favorite actors doing a thing, but when are they all going to come together? And in the climax of Love Actually, all the storylines cross over, painting the theme, each character coming across their own different, pursuing their own different desire lines, arcing, changing, succeeding, or failing, and that brings us all together in a way in which we don't typically see the ensemble cast being used, and I think it's actually the way it should ideally be used.
Okay,
You did a good...
hey,
valid. You know, good.
No.
He saw the opportunity and he took it.
There's a lot of statements made in this round. Okay.
Like every
At least
round,
3.
people say things.
Well, yes. An ensemble cast is a group of performers who share roughly equal importance and screen time in a production rather than having one single lead actor. Okay. While Ocean's 12 features an ensemble cast with no single dominant lead, Danny Ocean is generally considered, the George Clooney's character, is generally considered the closest to a central figure. Okay.
just like Saving Private Ryan is clearly the lead in Saving Private Ryan.
Your Julia Roberts character,
Yeah.
her name is Tess. Tess Ocean.
Jess, Tess.
Yeah, hey!
Hey, not far off.
Subconscious.
On Knives Out. Okay. But the caricature thing, all right? Ryan Johnson has said it himself. He says, while some characters in Knives Out might initially appear to be caricatures of the wealthy and privileged, they are designed to subvert genre expectations by having more depth than typical mystery tropes, with their flaws and questionable motives revealed throughout the film.
Yeah, he also said Last Jedi was good, so it doesn't really matter.
And you were correct in saying that Rowan Atkinson and Hugh Grant, they do not speak
Thank
each other.
goodness, I was like, pick two people that don't.
And then just lastly, Catherine Langford.
Langford.
Langford, yeah.
Okay, Catherine Langford.
Thank you.
Langford, yeah,
I
she
knew it was
plays-
Catherine something.
Yeah, she plays Meg Thromby in Knives Out.
Rick Thromby.
Yeah,
Don't
couldn't have
name.
been Zeta Jones, actually. I just say Cat. Oh, Zeta Jones.
So, a member from an ensemble cast that nobody mentioned that made me very sad was actually in Love Actually. Little known fact, Andrew Lincoln from Walking Dead.
Yeah, the whole everyone.
I love him, and I always forget he's in it, and then I see him, I go, yeah!
But that's the Viggo Mortensen kick the bucket or the helmet version of
There's
Love
characters
Actually.
like Loki dodgy in that film.
Oh yeah,
Apparently
100%.
he's like stalkery or something.
No, it's not apparently. He is a stalker. And it's like, oh no, but she likes it. It's like, she shouldn't. But with that being said, we don't like stalkers here. Moving on to that, we're moving on to the final question. Did I announce a winner?
No. It's too difficult. I can't do this.
So, in my mind, there was already been a winner assigned, and I'm just going to continue with that. Warwick, you get the point for that one. I think you did.
Sorry, I'm mad. I'm just mad.
Whoa! Pietri is also shaking his head.
It's
so don't
fine.
worry.
It does. You've
Pietri disagrees with me quite often in the YouTube comments.
now we can do it in
But
person.
now you can do it in person. But you know what? Vincent's reaction means I made the right call.
What's the score now?
So the score now, as we stand, is
2-1-1.
2 to Warwick. Are you the host?
No, I'm counting. Oh wait, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, and so, okay, as we stand, Warwick has got 2 points, and the two of you have got 1 point
Yeah.
each, which means, Warwick, no matter what, you're moving on to speed rounds.
Oh, fun.
Yes. And so now you two get to battle it
we
out
have
for the
to find
opportunity
it
to
out.
get into there. It is going to be so funny if you beat Vincent for this point. Please do your best.
No, but let's just play a fair round here. Because he's going to, for the laws, give it to you. Just
No,
give it fairly.
I take
No,
my
I'm
host
missing
job
one
very
today.
seriously. Oh, really, Mr.
The hat.
This is a statement. And so, let us move into a more...
Flip. I'm not going to win this one. I know what this is.
Okay, you know what? Screw you.
Okay, keep going.
Okay.
Wait.
South African thespians are infiltrating Hollywood, and they're infiltrating it hard. I won't name names as to show any bias towards our gladiators' answers, but I look forward to celebrating the work of our local talent. So tell us, who is the best South African-born actor or actress? Vincent, you are so enthusiastic about this. Please tell me your answer.
Okay, I am, because I really believe that Neil Sandilands is the best representation of what a South African actor can do. Born and raised in South Africa, he started in small roles. He was in a freaking Every South African Knows the Soapy, Seven Delon as Bart. Some people still call him Bart. They don't even call him Neil Sandilands because he was that iconic in Seven Delon, probably the most memorable character in that show. And he went from freaking that to shows like Sweet Tooth and The Flash. Now, I know they may be divisive, but no one will argue that he doesn't do a brilliant role in those films. And I love that, and that's why I love Neil Sandilands, is because he takes South Africa and puts it on an international stage, and you can look at a South African actor and you can go, holy shit, that guy acts really well, and he acts circles around everyone else around him. So I want South Africa to be seen outside South Africa, and Neil Sandilands is the guy for that. I've got more to say about him, but I'll leave it at that.
Warwick?
Cool. From my side, so the question is, who's the best actor or actress born in South Africa? My answer is Charlize Theron. And when I was thinking about my answer to this question, I thought, okay, what is it that makes a best actor? And an actor for me has a couple of functions. One, they need to have a cultural recognition. You know, people need to enjoy watching them, want to go to their movies. An actor as well needs to be able to finance a movie. They need to be able to get finances to say, hey, we trust this person will attract an audience, will make us money. So they have to have that star power ability to get a film financed. And then also there's then the cultural thing, you know, and their skill level. Can they actually like play a character? Do they have acting chops? So for me, Charlize Theron meets all three of those categories. One, you know, people enjoy her movies. She's got star power. She is able to greenlight any blockbuster or any film that she puts her name to. And then does she have acting chops? Again, echoing my first, she won an Oscar. You know, so she's clearly displayed across all three metrics that she is the best actress that we have exported out of this country.
Lunal?
Okay, I guess I've got a theme today because the actor I chose is an actor named Toby Cronje. And he doesn't work internationally, but as far as I know, I could be wrong, fact checker. But he was also on Seven Delon.
Yeah. Really? I didn't know he was.
Yeah, he was on Seven Delon. He was on Binnenlanders. He's also does a lot of stage work. He does always the Janice Honeymoon pantomimes at the end of the year, which are what is that?
I was like, yes.
Which he's very, very famous for. A lot of people know him for that. But he works on films as well. And the big thing about him, which I think makes him one of the best, is the fact that he's been working since like 1974, I think.
Sure.
They made his debut in 1974, which means his career has survived through the change of governments, the change of networks. He has remained a popular actor in our South African consciousness. His acting style is very much like a physical comedy style. So if you think like Rowan Atkinson and even Peter Sellers, like he's up there with them. Like if you watch his film, I think it's called The Ghost of Uniondale, the Uniondale Ghost. His character is hilarious. He also plays a ghost. And his physical comedy just makes that character. That's why I think he's the best.
Fact.
Okay, last time I let it go. Not this time. My problem with Toby Cronje is, of course, he's a fantastic actor. That goes without saying, and I wouldn't dare go against that. But he's got about as much relevance as the Paul Kruger statue at the Union Buildings. So he just isn't anything anymore. He's been working since the 1970s. Yeah, maybe he should stop then because he's had his era. Like, he's fantastic, but he's, of course, part of an older era. And maybe that's just how I'm set up, but I do believe in South Africa as worthy of a world stage. Never mind just Hollywood, like a world stage. And I believe in having that type of eyes on South Africa. I want that, and I want that to be a celebration of that. And the problem with Charlize Theron is the exact opposite. Yes, you fulfill the technical answer, which is an actor born in South Africa, but holy shit, she would hate being associated with that. Never mind us associating her with it. She does everything in her power to get away from the South African label. So fair, you tick the box, but I don't think she even wants you to win this point, and that's the problem. Is she isn't a celebration of our country. In fact, I think she's everything that's wrong with actors who go to a foreign stage. Is they try to become American and get away from South Africa. And what I like about Neil Sandilands is he's able to still withhold the South African thing. In fact, he plays a South African character in a lot of the shows and movies and stuff he does on an international stage. He doesn't shy away from it. He still comes back and does amazing work. There's this really brilliant documentary that came out last year or a year or two ago called Die Brug, which won, I can't remember exactly
he
what.
did the voice.
He was, it's the best narration in anything ever. It's fantastic. I need to talk to you about that because I really loved it. And he did a fantastic job narrating that. So he still honors it's Afrikaans, so it doesn't even appeal to other countries, but then he still does the stuff that does. So he celebrates everything.
You see, but that's then part of my issue then, and why I'll still put Charlize above, is that he can do all that, but there's a niche appeal. Unfortunately, Toby Cunha, very niche in regards to what, in this day and age, if you're wanting to make movies, what an actor needs to be able to do, which is greenlight the movie. I think Neil Sandlands probably has better success. So I've had to rank them before I go Charlize, Neil, and then in Toby in regards on that metric. And so objectively, if we're looking at them, the actor as being a central part of the business of a movie, you have to put Charlize at the top. And yes, it's a technicality that she was born here, but I think on one hand, I think that's encouraging, saying yes, we have issues around how she's linked herself to our country, but she is from here. Yeah. So you have to acknowledge that she's born in Benoni. Yeah. And that's as South African as you get. And regardless of that, she is a talent. So despite our tumultuous relationship with her, we can't doubt that. She's also still loved by people. They love watching her work, and she's talented again.
I'm gonna give you a counterpoint to that. So when she entered, the most hated scene of the entire Multiverse of Madness movie with Doctor Strange is the scene that she's in, and people are like, no, we don't want that. Like when she enters and his third eye opens, and they're like, I'm gonna pull you into this weird ass universe. Everyone's like, I don't want any part of this, and so she didn't greenlight that because we haven't seen anything from that.
That was a Doctor Strange movie, though. They didn't need Benedict Cumberbatch. They could have swapped anyone in, but we're looking at stuff like Mad Max, like Furiosa, not Mad Furiosa, Mad Max.
Yeah, her as Furiosa.
You see all the things Snow White and the Huntsman. They're looking. Then she was also an Italian Job, etc. She's a vital component.
And anything in the last 10 years
of that package. She's still legacy, man. It's
legacy, but it's still like it's. She's also then I guess I don't know if it's age or she just doesn't bring that star power that she used to. Yes, she had that Oscar haze from Monster, I believe, and that will carry you. I think Oscar haze carries you a good 10 years, and it fades off. And I mean, factually, it looks like it hasn't stuck because if you look at her, she isn't doing anything anymore, and that which she does isn't very successful. I mean, she was in a comedy in 2019 or 2020 called Long Shot, and it was on, someone argued for it a few episodes ago, and damn if no one knew that existed. So I just don't think the whole thing of she brings an audience and she greenlights, I don't think it's true anymore. And most of the blockbusters she was in, even in that time, tend to just not be successful. Hancock and the Huntsman, Snow White and the Huntsman, she didn't bring it, and she didn't change the fact that the movie still sucked. She's sad now.
I don't know how to defend my guy.
No, it's still. Look, I must be honest. If we're like stuck in the borders of South Africa, I agree with you. I think Toby Cunha is probably the person you want to put out there, and I wish more people would see him. But correct me if I'm wrong. Let me ask you this question: does he ever do English roles, or does he only do Afrikaans?
I think mainly Afrikaans.
It's mainly Afrikaans.
But the Panthers are English.
But that's the thing. Like it's all these niche things, and that's great. And I hope this will mean nothing to no one, but like someone like Paul, who's someone we know, who finds these weird, eccentric foreign films in other countries. I want some Japanese guy to find Toby Cunha and just work through his filmography. But that's going to be that one guy, and that's the truth. So it's sad, but it's the truth.
But he's so talented.
He is. But so am I, and no one's making my movie. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I really feel like if he had a director and the budget to show off more of his talent,
I agree.
He would be like more celebrated than Charlize Theron.
Or if he was in America, if you look at it sounds like he's in the same sort of thing as a Jim Carrey, for instance. Maybe it's a case of platform and access to opportunity, which in that case, I'm like, well, Charlize Theron decided, well, I'm going to get out of Dodge, go try and make a name. Unfortunately, it would be nice if she was, coming back and being like, yes, this is what
We did it.
this
Yeah.
guys and making it a team effort. So in that case, maybe, because I feel like, again, if we have to look at the matrix of how we analyzing best actor. Is it a cross-collateralization of these things? Are we allowing one to spike over another? And so I feel like still Charlize grabs all of that, whereas someone like Toby has got great appeal to an audience who love him, but is unable to meet the other functions. Neil Sandilands seems like a nice average out, but hasn't achieved the same success then as a Charlize Theron.
But at the end of the day, I mean, maybe I'm a
make this your closing argument.
Maybe I'll keep it short. Maybe I'm a hopeless romantic for South Africa, but I don't want someone who spits in our face to be the face. You know what I mean? So that's why, yes, she's obviously talented and she's good at what she does, but I don't want a bittersweet taste in my mouth when I talk about who represents us. And I don't want to have to explain every time I talk about Toby Cunha. So I think Neil Sandilands is a perfect in-between because I think he gets it and he represents it well.
Warwick?
I'll stand by my previous comment just around the metrics of success. Charlize Theron continues to be able to green light. She's won an Oscar and she's got acting chops. It is unfortunate we don't have the personal connection to her that we might ideally like, which I don't think, though, that lack of connection from just one part of an audience being South Africa negates then the acclaim and appeal she's got then for a global market. Yeah.
And Lonel. This is your chance, girl.
I've never heard of Neil Sandilands before today.
That's an accident.
Too soon. You're doing a bad job.
Fair, that's fair.
Which is maybe a problem on my part, but I had to Google him when I read him on your when you told me about him earlier.
She didn't have time, which is fair.
Yeah. And Charlize Theron, I feel like she's also become, like we've said, too Americanized. Like, I don't identify her as a South African actor or actress. And I think... Yeah, that's wait, no. Let me
And
try
remember,
and
she said there were, 44? I'm the last one. Oh, you guys are English, so you guys are
No.
Okay, thank goodness.
In Engels, possibly?
No, it's okay. That was English.
In Afrikaans, possibly?
Jeff will explain.
Praat vir ek.
Yeah,
Jeff doesn't work
I'm
anymore.
going to correct you because, like, your first mention of Theron was Theron. You said Theron.
You also said it wrong. It's not Taron, it's Tron.
Tron.
Like Tron, but with an Afrikaans
Thank you for
accent.
correcting.
Fact check.
Make Caleb say it.
Yeah, say it. Sean.
Tron.
That's fine. That was good. It's better than
Wow,
Bukes.
it's a high pitch.
Say it into the mic with your full chest.
Tron. Better than Bukes. Better than
There we
Bukes.
go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not
So-
even going to defend myself there.
On the topic of Charlize, all right, let's. There was quite a few facts that we also shared. Just the first one. So she's caused controversy in 2022 by stating on a podcast that her mother tongue is a dying language with only 44 people still speaking it, calling it not a very helpful language.
So that means there's at least 44 of them in here.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Probably in
stupid.
this building.
What was she thinking? Anyway, continue.
In
Oh,
being
2019,
hyperbolic.
she starred.
you're right.
In 2019, she starred in 3 films: Bombshell, Long Shot, and The Addams Family.
Wait,
the animated
wait,
one.
oh, she's
The animated one.
Wait, Bombshell. What was that?
That's News Network one, I think, with Margot Robbie and Nicole Kidman. Yes.
Sounds, yeah.
Okay, and then so she's only been in a few films from 2020. She's now very much been in Fast and Furious, Furiosa, Mad Max Saga. Okay, but that was just like an uncredited role, basically.
Was she in that at all?
Yeah, well, just the back. Of
Yeah,
the-
they do some additional
silhouette.
stuff.
Oh,
towards
really?
the
I
end.
didn't, yeah, cool.
Yeah, and now she just came out with Old Guard 2. I don't know if it's out
Yeah.
yet. And she's working on the Odyssey.
Is she on that?
She's in this movie.
And I really want to watch that.
I know, I do too. Then I want to talk about Neil Sandilands. Okay, so Neil Sandilands is a South African actor who played the character Bart Creer on the soap opera Seven Alarm. And then there was also the other fact I wanted to share. Sorry, just 1 second. Okay, so Toby Cunha, he has worked internationally.
Oh, yeah.
He's done some stage tours and he's worked on a film called Inside Out in 1989. Not the...
I'm like, wait, what? He's the little girl. No, I should have known when you said a film called Inside Out. I'm like,
Yes. He has been acting since the 70s, 1972 to be exact. Then, the Neil Sandilands, he was the narrator and one of the stars of the reality series Die Brug, where strangers join forces to build a bridge and reach an island with a prize. Yes, and we have not... Oh, one last thing. Toby Grenier has played in English roles. This one I really wanted to mention. He was in Mr. Bones 3, Son of Bones. He played a boerdriver spook in this movie.
I have watched one of his roles.
The actual best South African
Okay, guess you.
Are you the host?
And we have not seen Charlize in... she made the cameo in the post-credits scene for Doctor Strange, playing a character called Clea, which is a very, very important character in the comic books. But we'll have yet to see.
I don't think you understand the word important because she's
an important character in the comic books, but I don't think they're going to make a big fuss of her.
No, I am a comic book reader. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to argue semantics. Thank you,
read Doctor Strange.
I do, but that's. No, you don't. Are you the host?
No, but I'm arguing with the one.
Okay. I would like to state a few things before I give out my answer. The first one being that I don't think there is credit in saying, I haven't heard of your actor before.
I know.
Not looking at anyone.
I know, that was a cheap shot.
No,
Because I, as the host, haven't heard of your actor. So do you, my question is, would you like that to be a valid...
No. I
thought it was fine.
I was getting desperate.
Had you heard of Neil Sandilands before? Yes. Or is it just because I shut up about it?
Actually, I have now watched... since learning he was in Mr. Bones 3, I can confirm I have watched and heard of all of the actors.
Okay. You've watched the Flash TV series?
Yes?
He played the Thinker.
No. We're still talking about Toby Grenier that he does.
Oh, okay. My mistake.
Okay. But moving on from that, I do also feel there is this... I want someone who's representing the country. I don't want it to ever be a point where I see someone in the desert and I go, oh, what's your name? And where are you from? And then she goes, Rey Skywalker, forgetting that she's a Palpatine. And then she goes, and I'm definitely not from South Africa. Because I feel like that's exactly what Charlize Theron would say. So I will be giving this point over to Vincent. Yeah. Do I get the nod of approval from Pietri?
I think so. You get not an approval from me. Okay. Can I just say, I think from having zero faith, I went pretty damn hard in that.
Well done. No, you did a good job.
Pat me.
You get patted.
Thank you.
There we go. Okay, so with that, we are moving on to the speed round showdown. There will be awesome effects on screen right now. Yeah. And so you guys know how
So do you want us to
don't I feel stupid?
Do you want us to do the sound effects for it?
You're gonna have to do a lot more editing now.
That sound effect they make comes in.
Okay, with that being said, the rules are simple. You two are going to be answering the questions. I'm going to be shooting them your way. Lonel, you are going to help me judge these. Oh. So you have just as much authority as me. Actually, not just as much. Maybe like this much. This much less. So with that being said, we're going to jump straight into the speed rounds. I'm quickly swapping devices over here.
Make sure I don't see them.
That's why I am hiding them from
very
you.
badly.
Okay, fantastic. So I'm going to be asking you the questions. It's first come, first serve. So when I ask you a question, the first person to answer, you get that. And then we're just going to be debating it from there. Okay. So,
and I always add this to the new. Just shout out your answer when it comes to your brain. That's it. Yes.
Be gentle, Vincent.
I will. I'll give my eyes closed. Okay.
How about with your mouth closed?
Okay, I'm not looking good.
Okay, so this is the first question. What is the most brutal movie death scene?
Nothing's coming to mind. No.
5, 4, 3.
Okay.
2.
Until Dawn. Okay. You got you. It's different. So it doesn't
William Wallace and Braveheart.
Oh, oof. Okay. No. I'll explain. Until Dawn, the water drinking scene.
Can I change my answer?
No, don't.
Did you not hear the reaction we all had?
Okay. This will mean nothing to no one. So I'm just Until Dawn, water drinking scene, the Asian girl.
Okay. Is that a movie?
You'll find out.
Okay, so we're going to start with Vincent because I heard Until Dawn first. and your 20 seconds starts now.
I argue for the people who know what I'm talking about. So in the movie, she drinks a water and the water has poison in it. So her body parts start popping one by one, starting with her leg and then her arm and eventually her head. But the problem is there was about 20 seconds in between each pop. That sounds excruciating and unrealistic. And unrealistic brutality is worse than realistic brutality.
And time. Your 20 seconds starts now.
Yeah, Vincent speaks quickly. Okay, so in Braveheart, William Wallace dies a terrifically awful death by being hung, drawn, and quartered, in which his midriff is cut open and his intestines pulled out while he is still alive. All the while, though, after having been given the option to not be killed and to, submit the knee, he chooses not to. Suffering.
Time.
20 seconds is short.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
15 seconds starting now, Vincent.
So the Asian girl, her name's Megan. Megan's in Until Dawn's death is more brutal because it means nothing. Because in the movie, it resets like Groundhog Day and she's left to experience other horrors all over again. So it's more brutal because it means nothing. William Wallace's death meant something and that made it beautiful, not brutal. Meaningless death is brutal.
It still hurts. And for your 15 seconds starts now.
Cool, so I would argue then on the counter is that the fact that his death had so much significance makes it more brutal because we feel it that much harder. It's not tragic, it is absolutely, it's more tragic in the fact that it's not meaningless.
Cool, there we go. That was a good answer.
Yeah.
Lunel, do you have a winner in mind?
I do. I think I do.
Okay, because I know I do. What I'm going to do, just make life more fun and exciting. I'm going to count to 3. And I'm going to say now, and then we shout who we think wins, okay?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, now.
Braveheart.
Yeah, Warwick. There we go. Perfect, there we go.
William Warwick.
Is it
All right.
3 or after 3?
I think I spoke wrong. It's fine. Either way, we had Warwick as the winner.
On 3 or after 3?
Damn it, you rebutted it well.
Okay, cool.
I was cringing so hard when you were describing his death, so I knew.
Yeah.
Nah,
No, there was a point where I was like, I can't not give you the point.
Maybe we should have actually thought out.
Yeah.
Passion of the Christ.
I was like, the whole movie.
The whole movie's just that.
Yes. No, that is the right answer.
2 hours of that. I was like, damn
that without.
I was like,
any
Mel Gibson. I was like, wait, what about the other Mel
I
Gibson?
literally would have said any one of the Saw movies.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I don't know.
Movies happen very quickly in comparison to a 3-hour whipping. So, Warwick, great second answer, but also a good first answer. You won with that one. Okay, cool. So, moving on to the next question. What is the single greatest one-liner in movie history?
I'll be back.
You beat me to it. Okay, cool. So I'll think of another one.
Yeah.
Luke, I am your father.
Okay, cool. Vincent, we heard you first. And so your 20 seconds starts now.
There's a reason why 3 words are some of the most quotable words in the history of movies. I think shortness of quote versus memorability should amount to something. And when freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger says that in his accent, it was a beautiful culmination of something specific that led to that freaking truck, whatever, busting through the wall. But we don't even remember that. We remember the quote.
Stop. Your 20 seconds starts now.
Memorability is good. I think both lines are memorable, but Luke, I am your father is far more significant. And it acts not just as a cheap joke to set up a nice set piece, it actually gives us a narrative twist for a character with great discovery.
You've got 8 more seconds.
Darth Vader's cool.
Darth Vader's cool.
I'll be back.
I'll be back. Don't say the enemy's line. Okay, cool. Your 15-second rebuttal starts now.
The quote you've mentioned is a nice fake quote. No, I'm your father is a really cool quote, but unfortunately that's not your answer. So I enjoy the fan fiction you've presented. No narrative is driven by the quote you've given. I'll be back is the classic Terminator line made by the great James.
Time. Your 15-second rebuttal starts now.
The fact that I can misquote my line and everyone still understands what it means gives it far more memorability than the simple, easily remembered, I'll be back.
Cool, that's good, that's good. I would like to give 2 little facts about that. Originally, Arnold Schwarzenegger was fighting for I will be back because he thought that was more grammatically correct. And that's what a robot would say.
I will be
and
back.
James Cameron said, no, the script says, I'll be back. The winner, Lunel, do you have a winner in mind? Ooh, you don't sound too confident about that, but it's fine.
It's
because if
close,
we
it's
disagree,
close.
we'll go to those people behind the camera, so it's fine. It was a very, very close one. Let's do the same thing. I'm going to count down. I will say 1,
On 3
2,
or after
3. Then we say it. Okay,
After
cool.
3.
After 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Warwick.
Warwick.
There we go. when the whole crowd goes, oh, then you know. You know what this means.
You still don't know the quote of the Star Wars.
I still don't know this quote. Okay, no, but moving on from that.
Don't worry, I'll be back.
Warwick, if you win this one,
You win.
you win the whole episode. So now the pressure's really on.
Yeah.
But the pressure's really on this man. This will be the...
Knees weak, arms are heavy.
I don't want to say anything. But if Warwick wins this next one, that means Vincent has gone from winning almost every single episode he's ever been on to not winning a single speed round.
That is the first time I've never,
Yeah. Which...
Yeah.
Sheesh! Big one.
Fast words not make good.
Slow brain.
I'm gonna start slow now. It's a good one.
Okay.
Fast words, slow brain.
Yeah, slow.
What
Is it this or that, please? 'Cause-
Yeah,
okay.
it's not. What is a movie twist you saw coming a mile away?
Shutter Island.
5, 4, 3, 2, half.
A movie twist I saw coming a mile away.
Yes.
Classic strategy.
Because you obviously didn't hear it the first time.
Yeah, classic
Count
strategy
down.
took point.
5, 4,
Count faster, man.
3, 2, 1.
No,
And it's
okay,
up.
it's mine. It's mine.
Okay, that one definitely goes to Vincent.
I will add to that. I do mean that because see, I don't like Shutter Island because I'm like, I started the movie. Like, oh, it's here. Okay, let's figure that out for the rest of the movie.
I have no memory.
Okay, cool.
Building
So,
suspense, guys.
That was
He's gonna do it to the
that
next
was not
one as
even
well.
close. So Warwick, you're still sitting on 2 points. Vincent, you're sitting on 1.
But I want to earn them, Warwick. Give me a chance.
What is the most pointless post-credit scene ever made?
Sinners.
Okay, the one with Harry Styles where he is in you know wait, no wait, let me just finish my point. I can't even remember Eternals, Harry Styles. Can we make sure, because I can, to be honest, I don't know if it's just the end of the movie or it is a post-credit
No, it's post-credit scene.
100%.
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to say I am shooketh.
No, I know, just
Nobody
don't say
mentioned
you-
Doctor Strange.
No, because that's the end of the movie. It's not a post-credit scene.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Isn't it a post-credit scene?
No, not that. Not the one with freaking Charlize.
Warwick, we'll start with you. Your 20 seconds starts now.
The post-credit scene in Sinners was, in my opinion, just a tag-on way to try add some additional meaning into a narrative that fundamentally hadn't quite reached the level it was trying to get. We wrap up some characters, we give them a nice little moment together, but fundamentally it adds nothing. No setup to a new story, and nothing like to really give us more depth.
Time. Vincent, your 20 seconds starts now.
The whole point of Harry Styles being a pointless post-credit scenes is the fact that it's the start of a character that went nowhere. That was like 5 years ago. So the meaningless end to a character serves way more of a purpose than the meaningless start of a character that you never seen after the freaking end credits of Eternals. You never see him again as Little Dwarf.
Warwick, your 15-second rebuttal starts now.
Sure, a character that you suddenly get introduced into might feel like, oh, it's like, what is the significance of this? But it's even more frustrating than to be wanting some completion from a character that you've been spending 2 hours with and then not to get it. It's like, why give us that anyway and tease us with the idea that you're going to give us some additional meaning?
Time. Your 15-second rebuttal starts now.
Let's go with exactly the words pointless. They spend a lot of money to get Harry Styles in that thing. So imagine to spend a bunch of money on a character, put him in an end credit scenes where half the people are out of the cinema already and never use him again. That's a bunch of money down the drain where they just used another day to shoot that post-credit scene that you mentioned.
That you mentioned.
Because that was very obviously a question. And I ended with a high inflection. I have a winner in mind. Lionel, do you?
Yes.
Okay, cool. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Vincent.
Vincent.
Yeah, unanimous. Damn, what a useless behind-the-scene camera everyone's been today because you guys aren't giving them a chance. Disagree. Okay, what's that? 2-2.
That's 2-2.
Yay,
Look at
exciting
this.
final.
And so,
I love that end credit scene.
And Caleb loves it too.
no, can I be honest with you? Which, there's two,
disappointed me
there
so
are
much.
two
I
post-credit
agree, I
scenes,
agree
correct?
with
There's two. Are you talking about the first or the second
Talking
post-credit
about all of
The
it.
one talking about where they walk into the DJ disco
It's
thing.
because it's basically the same scene, just split into two. You got like Stack comes back with his girl, and then there's Sammy being like, oh, and then
So
it's
I'll
like,
be
oh.
honest with you, I didn't like Sinners. until the post-credit scene. Then I
He
thought, I
loves
was like,
that.
yeah, I was like, okay, now it makes the movie bearable. Now I understand the
Yeah,
story.
Sinners in general was good. It's not even in the top 10 of this year, I believe. But I agree with you that I think it disappoints. And I don't know why everyone else doesn't feel that way.
But I didn't know this Harry Styles thing. And the guy,
It's
like,
freaking-
literally,
Yeah,
it's him
that
in
was-
appearance
He's a
fee
whole
for like 2
set
minutes.
up
The brother
hero.
of Thanos.
Yes,
and-
he's the brother of Thanos.
Harry Styles.
Yes.
He's the brother of Thanos.
Yes,
Yeah.
now you know.
Yeah. His super
I vote Vincent as well.
his character name is Harry Watermelon Sugar Styles in the film.
No, it's not.
That's not.
not.
Hey, let-
I was like, yo, you had me there. I was like, what the hell?
I'm back in.
Okay. This is a this or that.
So it's a decider.
So it's I will say this option or this option. And you've got to choose one option or the other. And if you're not fast enough, you have to argue the other. The Rock in every movie or Ryan Reynolds in every movie?
Ryan Reynolds in every movie.
Warwick, your 20 seconds starts now.
Ryan Reynolds, I think, would be able to slot into any movie role, whichever, due to the fact that he's not such a big, bulking guy. He can play an everyman, he can jump into a model, he can play a wider range of characters, given his physical appearance.
Cool. You can tell that the producer is busy thinking there. It's the clock. You can't get any answers. And your 20 seconds starts now.
If you are stuck with the ailment of seeing one actor in every movie, why not make it fun? With Ryan Reynolds, you're still trying to make it normal. It's not going to be normal. That one guy's and everything. Let's go with The Rock, and I want to watch Mrs. Doubtfire immediately. I want to see him being Mrs. Doubtfire. You can have fun with every movie you watch, seeing Dwayne Johnson in it. With Ryan Reynolds, that's just like that annoying guy in the film. No one
Time.
calls Dwayne Johnson annoying.
Warwick, your 15-second rebuttal starts now.
Unfortunately, The Rock's physical prowess gives him away. You watch him in anything that he acts in will then be seen as an exaggerated comedy. Him and Mrs. Doubtfire is just going to be like, but you can't, it works in one way, but it won't translate, whereas Ryan Reynolds could play dramatic, comedic, or, thriller. He's just got that star
Time.
quality.
Vincent, your 15 seconds starts now.
If we're at the place where one actor's in every movie, I'm past the point of trying to make it make sense. That's why I'm saying let's lean into the ridiculous, put Dwayne Johnson in every movie, and have a good life, and then eventually kill myself when I'm over it. Where Ryan Reynolds, that's just going to happen sooner, so I'm going to see less movies, and that's why I vote for lean into
Time.
the crazy.
Jeepers, Vincent.
So, I'm going to do
Okay.
something. Lunel, just because there's obvious...
the case.
Okay.
Don't you put Ryan Reynolds in every movie? I'll do it!
I would like to, before we give our answer, I'm going to open this up to the peoples behind the cameras.
Quick question, is it 1 vote or 4 votes?
You don't get an official vote. I want to hear your opinions. So just shout out to us who you think should win from left to right. And then Lunel will do our tiebreaker, and if we disagree, then your votes will count. So, left to right, we'll start. Well, your right to left.
Vincent.
Pier 3B, awfully quiet for a man who always has an opinion of what other people say.
I know it was a mic drop moment, but I'll go with Warwick on the quality of his arguments.
Oh no.
Don't listen to Jeff.
Jeff's not arguing.
No, because it was very hard to decide because I could see Ryan Reynolds, but also doing great. So best.
Okay, are you ready?
Doing The Rock.
Yes.
I'm scared.
Okay, I'm gonna
This is
count
the first
this down.
time
Yes.
ever,
Yes.
ever where I'm actually nervous about who's winning.
Okay, we're going to count this down.
Okay.
Cool. 3, 2, 1. Vincent.
I know what happened.
You know what that means?
I have thought to the future. I know what it means.
do you want to say it then?
No. I'm going to make you say it. You're the
Okay,
host.
so with the fact that it has been a tie between Lornell and I, you guys now have the opportunity to change your minds if you want to. But let me go through this. It was Vincent, Warwick, Vincent, which means
Now in my books.
that I'm going to change my vote. No, I'm joking. That means we have Vincent as the main character. Well done, well done, well
That was
done.
easy.
That was
Well
a...
fought.
There are very few people that make Vincent nervous in speed rounds. And you did a bloody good job. So well done.
But
well done.
I will say throughout the whole episode, it's the first time where I'm not like thinking about what I'm gonna do in the speed round to like make myself ready for it. It's the first I'm like, am I gonna get to it? Am I gonna? And then the fifth question, I'm like, am I gonna get to it? You guys did really well. And that's what we like, is when people really make each other stress.
I think this has been one of the most competitive.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm taking this
Without just loudness. Like, it was competitive without just loudness from those two.
Yeah. So well done, guys. You did a fantastic job, Lornell. Would you like to say anything as we close the episode?
No, I can tell you about this film I'm actually working on right now. I'm working on a feature film called Trunk. They just showed a trailer at it at the Bioscope, I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I saw that, yeah.
And I'm really excited about it. It's like a creature feature.
Wow.
But the creature is an elephant, as explained by the name Trunk. And it's going to be really surreal and funny and sexy. And I'm super excited to.
I'm so glad other people are recognizing that elephants are sexy. I've been fighting this battle for
Yeah, because when you say trunk, I was ready.
I was so ready.
The humans are sexy, okay?
Oh, so I have to
Why
start.
are you disappointed?
I'm going to throw away my scripts for Trunk Triple X.
The Revenge of Trunk.
Really excited. I think it'll come out probably next year sometime
Nice.
because I'm busy working full time. And also, if you need script supervisor or continuity, please call me, please. Please.
Cool. And Warwick, what would you like to shout out?
I'll just say, yeah, we have a new feature film that's currently out in cinemas, London Calling, but then our other one's coming out on the 13th of November. It's called Muzzle City of Wolves with Aaron Eckhart.
Nice.
And so keep an eye out for that one. It's also going to be pretty cool.
Say again, muzzle?
Muzzle City of Wolves, starring Aaron Eckhart, made by Mannequin Pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. And Vincent, anything you'd like to shout out?
Funny enough, I will also shout out a movie I'm working on, but it is a passion project, something I'm going to throw my whole life into next year, and hopefully I will make it work. It is going to be something coming out of South Africa, hopefully to an international audience, and it is a sci-fi mystery love story. That's all I'll say for now.
Awesome, guys. So we just want to once again thank Tebedien for this, which was so freaking good. And I needed it. It was really hot when this episode started. I was sweating beads.
That's because we were all like vibrating energy.
And then moving on from that, we'd like to also once again thank JJ Arts. Because do you guys have your artworks? Let's just show them to the camera quickly. We do this thing where every time it's someone's first time on an episode, we have these caricatures drawn of them. Vincent's been on many times, so he didn't need his own little drawing.
I have no drawing, but I must scream.
Oh my gosh.
And then we obviously, once again, as we do in every episode, thank God, because this podcast would not be possible without him, without his providence. So thank you so much. And with that, the episode ends. Well done to Vincent again for being the main character.
It was so difficult. I've got some battle scars. In honor of a recent released movie, it's just one battle after another.
You did good.
Please explain, what is the reference?
They know, they get it.
They get it. The real...
Very good.
there we go. I'm not the only cinephile that doesn't
It's just
get it.
apparently the best movie ever, but I don't believe that. But we'll see.
What, Citizen Kane?
No, it's it's probably that again. Yes.
Bye-bye. Bye.